Family, 3 days ago, right? I had just turned 25, and there's a few things in life that, you know, have started to play out. For those of you that don't know, it's been about 5 years now, almost 6 years since I've had this channel. And what I would say is, I've been able to express myself in a way that, to the average motherfucker, they cannot understand. This channel is my outlet on life, on how I see the world, and just give you my opinion behind closed doors. There have been a lot of videos that have been taken down, questioned, that I can't get back unless I look in my archives. Nevertheless, I have not made any money from this channel. I'm not sponsored by anybody. And I'm just talking from my perspective. One thing I would say about, getting older, as a man, people will start liking you all of a sudden. For whatever reason, you start getting more respect, or people just start taking you a bit more serious. And one thing about myself is, I can never forget anything in my life. I have a very good memory when it comes to my childhood, my teenage years. I have mental notes on every fuck nigga that has done me wrong. So you can't say I can never get over shit. And you're absolutely right. I can't get over shit. Because if you've had a traumatic childhood, traumatic life experience, what makes you think it could just come out of your head, man? It can't. You have to make life mean something. You can't rewind. You can't press the rewind button. One thing that I hate, and I notice this only in the United States, people think older niggas are better, and people that I guess have more life experience, are wiser, and they know the best for people. But especially with black people, there are a lot of old YNs, There are a lot of old niggas, old bitter niggas. And I'm not saying everybody is an old bitter nigga. And I'm not saying there aren't people that give good advice. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, to the people that think everybody's going to be young forever, people aren't going to grow up eventually. And sometimes you go through phases in life to move forward. And you have to go through something. With women, right, they have it easy. Majority of their life, they have it easy. As a man, especially a black one at that, there's like some type of JavaScript. There's a pamphlet that literally has some type of manual that America, right, has to put down for every individual. That's, I'm pretty sure it says something along the lines of mentally, from a mental standpoint, let's try to suppress the black man. Let's start off first when he is in elementary school. And then as he gets older in life, let's amp it up a little bit more. That's how I kind of see society, at least in America. So there's a reason specifically why I'm bringing this up and why I wanted to talk about this a couple of days after my birthday. But 10 years ago, right, I was in high school. I was a skinny black kid that wore glasses. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a fucked up hairline. And everybody laughed at me, man, even my own parents. I had rarely any friends. I had PTSD. I cannot communicate like how I can now. I was basically, I guess, an ugly duckling, as you might say. It wasn't until I had to move out of the hood. It wasn't until I had to go through stuff in life, like become broke several times, and the only people that gave me actual advice to move forward was like-minded people like my friends. My friends since day one have had the same experiences as I have, and we pretty much know how to maneuver through life. I'm not saying we could completely get over everything that we've been through, but to have like minds give advice or just even tell their story is very pivotal in adolescence. A lot of people from my high school, I'm not gonna lie, I was like not a loser, but it took me a while to be this version of myself. When I look back, a part of me wants to be mad, but another part of me wants to be like, all right, let a nigga grow some, you feel me? Let a nigga go through the turmoil, and then once he's past that phase, you could evolve and you could adapt. And you could really be who you really are. When I started this channel, I wasn't who I really wanted to be in life. I was struggling, not only mentally and financially, but spiritually as well. My first video, I was screaming because I didn't get no pussy. So I've come a long way, man. The same people that used to laugh at me, give me a hard time, whether it's family or former friends or people that from 10 years ago, right, that motherfuckers used to idolize and whatnot. Now, niggas are having a hard time. A lot of girls from my high school now are either broke or pregnant. Niggas from back in the day that were balling out had the whole world at their hands in high school. These niggas are now dirt broke or they're dead or in jail. The people that had thriving careers back in the day are now working subpar retail jobs. So you have to think to yourself, this is just a life cycle. A lot of people, like myself 10 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be living better than people that were thriving. You would have never thought. But that's just how life is. It's just a phase we're going through. And I wish I had known that back then. I wish I had thought to myself, maybe it's gonna get better. And it did get better, you know. I moved out, went back to my hometown. I met some new people. You know, I'm now starting my career. I don't have a lot of debt on me. I don't have children. You know, I don't have baby mamas and all that. You know, and, you know, I thank God that I'm even still alive. Because there are numerous times I could have been dead. There are numerous times I didn't think I'd get out of a situation. So, everybody back in the day that was thriving, a lot of these niggas now are not doing so good. And I don't want to put all the blame on women, but it's like, even at 22, at least where I'm at now, a lot of women in this area 10 years ago, right? They hit their peak way too early. When you hit your peak way too early, your fall off is inevitable. Because it's not unless you change something about yourself to where you're going to become stagnant. As opposed to somebody that has been picking up momentum after years. And then they're happy where they're at. Like me, for example. It makes you feel like you made an accomplishment, you know? But peaking too early is not good. And the cold, harsh reality of life, high school doesn't matter. If you have goals and you have plans, you know, those 4 years don't define you. And as a man, we already know a lot of people say that, you know, your life doesn't start till you're 30 as a man. I say that's not always the case, you know. 30 isn't always going to be your best year. And it could be 27, it could be 28, it could be 26. You have plenty of time to grow and elevate yourself. So, you know, I've heard a lot of people, especially where I'm at, that have fell off really hard. Like very, very hard. You know, especially the women. The women here have 10 years ago, they gotten everything, you know. Niggas be sending money They get free things, free stuff, better opportunities. But now, there was one girl from my high school that recently, I heard she was homeless. Yeah. I heard she was homeless and she was fucking with some street niggas. Fucking with some hood niggas. So, for anybody that's watching this that's in high school right now, if there's a girl you like that has been getting all of this male attention, you know, that you think you can't get her because you're not good enough, I'm going to tell you something. Maybe it's a good thing that you're not with her, because one of these days, she's going to already peak and she's going to decline in life. And it just goes downhill from there, you know. So, yeah, just be yourself, man. Don't listen to people that think you have to get your life together when you're still in your 20s. I mean, in your mid to late 20s, yeah, you got to start changing some shit, my nigga. But as far as everybody else that has already peaked, you know, you're just starting to get noticed, man. And I'm gonna end off with this, you know. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Yeah. Do not think that you ain't shit, man. So let everybody have their fun, man. Just let everybody that didn't think you were shit, just let them have their fun, man. Because like me, I don't even have to tap in with my environment to know that a lot of people back in the day are not doing so good. You know. In fact, they have it a lot worse than me at my lowest point. So you just gotta, you know, do what I do, work and just keep your head down and worry about your own business, man. But peaking early is not, you know, like I said, it's good for them for the moment. But when actual life kicks in and when they start declining in looks specifically, they've used up every fucking nigga. They haven't had the success that they've had in a long time. That's how you know the fall off it's there. But I'm out, y'all. Peace. A quarter century in this bitch. With many more to come.